Our cover story tonight is about China's silent war on India. This will shock you. A man has been accused of spending millions of dollars in India in order to spread pro-China propaganda. That's right, it's a sinister ploy to say the least. It's a silent war and a murky web of trying to buy bias and influence. Who exactly is this man? What's behind this plan and how exactly was he executing it? Who all were involved and how was the lid blown off? On Gravitas tonight, we get you these answers as we join the dots and bring you the bigger picture. Also on the show for you tonight, Stockholm has emerged as Europe's new crime capital. We tell you why the crime rates in Sweden have been attracting global concern now. There is a new COVID variant on the prowl. Should you be worried? Iran is gaslighting women who defy the hijab law and sending them off to take psychiatric treatment. Are you too drunk to drive back home? Italy has a plan to get you home safe. We tell you more. Our cover story is about a man who has been accused of waging a war in India. It's a fireless war. It's a war of narrative, a war of misinformation and disinformation. It is China's war of influence. And Beijing's foot soldier in this war is Neville Roy Singham. A New York Times investigation has accused him of spending millions of dollars in India in order to spread pro-China propaganda. But this is not the first time Singham's name has come up for something fishy. Raids previously have led Indian authorities to Singham. Now, don't get fooled by his Bollywoodish name. Neville Roy Singham is an American, but he sits thousands of miles away in Shanghai, close to the Chinese seat of power, running his large network of propaganda machines masquerading as shell companies and NGOs. Last week, Singham was reportedly attending a workshop on ways to spread Chinese propaganda. He once founded a company called ThoughtWorks Inc. The website claims Roy is a globally renowned information technology thought leader. So, why is this thought leader being accused of influencing people's thoughts in favor of China? Why is he oiling the Chinese propaganda machinery in India? Is his resume nothing but a cover? In India, Singham reportedly poured money into a website called NewsClick. It is run by PPK NewsClick Studio Private Limited. In the year 2021, this website came under the radar of India's Enforcement Directorate. ED claimed that NewsClick had received questionable foreign funding amounting to 38 crore rupees. So on the 9th of February, the ED raided NewsClick. At least 10 of its premises were searched. The raid lasted 5 days. New York Times now claims, I'm quoting, Singham's network financed a news site, NewsClick, that sprinkled its coverage with Chinese government talking points. And this is what the website looks like. Nothing obviously suspicious there, no red color or Chinese flag, of course. Not too long ago, NewsClick filed a story that declared Oppenheimer film should remind us who is the real enemy of the people. And who is that? Definitely not China. The story reads, and I'm quoting, for young internationalists and anti-imperialists in the United States, it is essential for us to listen clearly to the people of West Africa and the Sahel. Western media has been spinning nefarious tales of Russian and Chinese growing influence in the region. 2 years ago, NewsClick filed this story. China claims to achieve eradication of absolute poverty. Also 2 years ago, NewsClick asked, can China lead the way to a low-cost, low-carbon future? And here's another story. Economically, the US is a declining power, China is a rising power. The message is clear, China will only follow the path of socialism. how US aggression on China will destabilize global trade and tech. Would you call the reportage/coverage neutral, or is there an obvious bias there? Singham is accused of buying this bias on behalf of China. How exactly, you wonder? Through charities and shell companies. In April 2018, for example, a company named Worldwide Media Holdings LLC invested 9.59 crores into PPK NewsClick. Worldwide Media is now defunct. It was based out of Delaware and it was part of Singham's network. Between 2018 and 2021, NewsClick received money from 4 different entities linked to Singham. It in fact received 27.51 crore from Justice and Education Fund located in the United States, 26.98 lakhs from G-Span LLC, again located in the United States. 49.31 lakhs came in from the Tricontinental Limited Inc., USA, and 2.03 lakhs were sent from a certain Centro Popular Demedas, Brazil. And what was this money for? Export of services, claimed NewsClick. What services? New York Times claims to have, quote-unquote, tracked hundreds of millions of dollars to groups linked to Singham that mix progressive advocacy with Chinese government talking points. NewsClick, mind you, is just one of the many ways in which Singham is pushing the Chinese narrative into the mainstream discourse. Singham finances YouTube videos that promote pro-Chinese narrative. In Shanghai, for example, one of his companies co-produced a YouTube show along with the city's propaganda department. Singham finances NGOs that slyly toe the Chinese line. The New York Times also claiming that Singham and his network meet congressional aides, train politicians in Africa, they help in organizing protests, and the end goal here is to create an echo chamber where the Chinese narrative is celebrated, even promoted. And then when protesters or a politician paid by Singham or trained by Singham says something pro-China, New York Times claims Chinese media accounts retweet people and organizations in Singham's network at least 122 times since February 2020. Nothing here is genuine. Everything is tailored, orchestrated, and funded, it seems, to suit the Chinese propaganda campaign. Neville Roy Singham is a reminder of how China's narrative war has gone beyond state-funded media outlets and the Confucius Institute. Beijing has spread its tentacles, roped in third parties. They may be anywhere, they may be anyone. What may look like independent content or a journalistic piece on China may have its roots soaked in Chinese money and tasked with influencing your views on China, making you look at the world through China's lens and fall for the Chinese lie.